What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're taking a look at the Resident Evil 4 Remake Demo here, the Chainsaw Demo, running on the Steam Deck here with SteamOS. No forced compatibility layers, just running the game as is here. No tweaks other than 4 gigs of VRAM. I do still have that kicked in on this particular deck for some things I've been working on, but that's it. Nothing else going on there. As far as the settings here, 800p, 60 Hz refresh, variable, full screen, no VSync, and I'm letting things go as they wish there for the uncapped frame rate. FSR 2 at quality for now, high on our texture, and then everything else is either low or off, except we do have our shader cache there. But yeah, I want to go down through these, even though there's a lot of settings. When the actual game comes out, there's going to be a lot of tweaking that can be done that I'd rather spend more time on when we get the full release. But just looking at the demo, pretty much all low or off here for a lot of the settings with the FSR 2. Now with that, it's really going to depend on where you're at in the game as to what kind of performance you're getting when it comes to the demo. I've seen 27 FPS all the way up to like 70 some FPS in the game just running like this, again depending completely where I'm at. Jumping inside, of course, typically when you're inside these houses and buildings, you're going to experience a higher frame rate, which is going to be nice. It's certainly a game that lends itself well to a 40 FPS or 30 FPS cap, depending on what you're going for. But again, the demo could be more optimized than the actual game. We don't know yet till it comes out, so I'm going to hold off on getting too deep into that. But you can see here certain areas where you can get up into the 70s and it looks really nice. The game looks great here on the deck, especially on the smaller screen. But when you get into areas like this, you'll get back down into the 30s oftentimes, and there's going to be areas of the main game definitely where there's a lot more happening and you're going to experience bigger frame rate dips, and that's where I get a little bit more concerned. But overall, the performance is decent here in the demo. Now, I want to sit still right here for 1 second and just make a couple of changes to take a look at our FPS gains here with the FSR, because it's pretty good with this game. So if I turn FSR off here, that puts on FXAA anti-aliasing, which pretty much drops us somewhere between 7 and 10 FPS depending here, which actually makes a difference when you talk about those scenes that are 27 to 35 FPS. Switching over here to TAA only, you can see it's very similar to the FXAA or FXAA plus TAA, and then back over to the super resolution or the FSR 2 here at quality, we go back up into the 52, 53 mark there. So I do think FSR is going to be something that I do use in this game, FSR 2, when the full release comes out. I will be interested to see, but I think the gains will probably be worth it here as we are kind of pushing up against the GPU side of things here when it comes to limitations. But I was really surprised. The big thing here for me isn't just the FPS, of course, it's the frame times. Gameplay is pretty smooth, and we don't get a lot of huge spikes and issues and stutters when we're playing in the game, even when we have dips. Like this area right here, as I get into a little bit of combat with Mr. Chainsaw guy here, we're going to go out here. And performance, considering where we're at and more NPCs and things like that, stays pretty good. Frame times stay pretty good, but what will happen here is I'm going to get kind of sucker punched in the back of the head, and we're going to get caught up here, and a lot happens, and I thought it would get worse for performance. We get one 27 FPS dip right there and some spikes in our frame time, but other than that, everything stays pretty good. So that's decent for performance for these settings, but again, it does kind of worry me when the full game comes out and we get into some bigger areas and more going on. Like, is the performance going to hold up? Are we going to have to up that FSR more, which is going to hurt image quality and things like that? It's really hard to tell right now. That's why I'm not going to get too deep when it comes to just the demo, but I wanted to see how it was running here. And for the most part, the demo itself gives us some hope when it comes to the full release when it comes out, which I'll be checking out as well. All right, guys, thanks a lot for coming and check out the video. As always, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.